Today I will compare a soft-sided carry-on with a hard shell carry-on suitcase with travel tips about their features for packing. A tip for you, if you can, is to make a list of what features you do like in your suitcase. The number one feature that I now must have in a hard shell suitcase is an outer pocket. Going through airport security is much easier for 4 reasons. Number one, your documents can fit inside that outer pocket so that they are easily accessible. Number two, your identification can also be packed in there for a convenient amount of time until you can organize it later in the airport. Number three, you can pack your belt in there. And number four, you can pack bulky jewelry in there until you get through airport security. Like, I don't even put on my belt or bulky jewelry or necklaces if I'm really wearing bulky jewelry. I don't mean like a normal earring size or necklace size. With these 4 ways, you get to save time because you're not looking through your personal item bags to find each item for airport security. This outer pocket feature also helps you save space because you can just open the outer pocket while you're standing. You do not have to lay the suitcase down, open up the entire suitcase to get to an important document or item with it laying on the floor in the airport. Another factor in my comparison of hard shell suitcases versus a soft-sided carry-on is crowds inside the airport. When I'm walking with my rollerboard, I'm just pulling it behind me. I am making the way through the crowd with my body, which people are used to. But with the hard shell suitcase on 4 wheels, I tend to just push it beside me. And therefore, I've got to watch for 2 distances of people or 2 widths of people while I'm walking through a crowd. It just seems easier to just pull it behind me. I used to not want a 4-wheel spinner suitcase at all because I thought that the wheels were going to pop off if your suitcase has to be checked last minute, if there are no overhead bin spaces left. But now the quality of wheels, I think, is getting much better because so many people like the spinner 365 degrees, 180 degree spinning capability of the wheels. In this hard-sided suitcase, I did notice that these wheels seem to be more trustworthy or higher quality because they are somewhat embedded in the suitcase itself, which I think protects it if it goes through all the way to baggage claim. Through this process of choosing luggage, I have finally found a hard shell suitcase with an outer pocket, but now I also have my soft-sided carry-on bag with an outer pocket. So I'm going to compare the space that's inside these 2 carry-on bags. I can pack the same amount of travel essentials inside this 20-inch suitcase as I can in the 22-inch suitcase. You can see that the paper towels fit inside this hard shell one, and they also fit inside the soft-sided one. But my packing tip is to make your items that you're going to pack be in smaller containers, either compression cubes or smaller pouches versus a hard shell case, like a travel case for certain essentials that you would be flying with. So for me, it's easier to fit my travel essentials in a 20-inch suitcase versus the 22-inch one. As in all of the lessons I have learned in my life, experience is the best teacher. That's why I hope to help you as a pilot wife for over 20 years. I'm teaching you these travel tips that I've learned based on experience. The hard shell suitcase I have found has 2 sides, so it makes you think that you have more room to pack in. But it's a little harder to pack in a hard shell suitcase to me because you have both sides that are open on the floor of your bedroom or on a luggage rack. When you open a hard shell suitcase like this on a luggage rack, to me it is inconvenient because it doesn't fit easily on the luggage rack and you need that extra space. So my travel tip that I came up with based on this experience of traveling a couple of times with it is to pack your essentials inside the zipped side of your hard shell suitcase and then lean that against the wall, and then you'll have just the space of this other half of your suitcase where you can pack the rest of your items. When I'm traveling in a hotel especially, it's easier to plop the soft-sided suitcase on the luggage rack and just lift up that flap. But if you do not use compression packing cubes, I do think that this carry-on suitcase, even though it's hard shell, would be easier to pack in because you can stand up your folded items Because each side is so shallow, it's easy to see what you have packed for your vacation outfits. I have 25 summer vacation outfits in this video that I'll link for you up here. You can watch it at any time. One of the most negative features in hardshell carry-on suitcases is that you have to open up the entire suitcase, and therefore your hand will get scuffed by the wheels because your hand has to go through those 4 wheels. And maybe it's a negative for a suitcase with 4 wheels. Another feature that I want you to look for when you are searching for your carry-on suitcases, and that is which side of the suitcase the handle is on. For instance, if you are right-handed, you need your right hand to be on the top handle of the suitcase, and you need your left hand to be on the weaker side, the left side of the carry-on suitcase. Because when you are lifting it up, your right hand is going to be holding the weight of your carry-on bag, and your left hand is going to just be directing your suitcase over and up into the overhead bins. This silver hard-sided suitcase, the handle is on the right side, and I cannot lift it. I had to ask somebody to help me, and thank goodness they were nice about it. But that, since my left hand is on the top, it could not bear the weight of my suitcase. And here in the United States, we do not have to worry about the weight of our luggage in carry-on suitcases. I get asked that question a lot, and we never have to consider it for domestic travel. I was very skeptical, like I said, of the hard-sided suitcase, and I did not like the silver ones. I do recommend it because it is top quality. When I did fly with it, I have gone over stairs and gone off of curbs, walked on the roads in Los Angeles to get to the Uber parking lot that's supposed to be close to the airport. But anyway, I have tested it in its high quality wheels. I'm going to give it away because it does not have an outer pocket, and I know that is my #1 need in a carry-on suitcase. And another misconception that my husband and I have, maybe it's a misconception, is we thought that soft-sided luggage will expand more or can squish down more if you are criticized or taken aside because of the size of your suitcase, because my soft-sided luggage is expandable. Well, my hardshell suitcase in the silver color, it is expandable as well, about 1 inch or 2 width-wise. But then I noticed this carry-on suitcase here that is hard-sided, its outer pocket gives me about 1 inch or 2 more of expandable space, even though it does not expand in itself. And I know many of you travelers prefer to have a hardshell suitcase, so this is something for you to think about. Some of you prefer to have a hardshell suitcase because it gives you a set boundary in which to pack your clothes. You cannot overpack it. Let me know if you have ever sat on your suitcase to make it close. One other feature to notice in your carry-on suitcases is all of the pockets. It's nice to have them easily accessible in the outer pocket, but this outer pocket has 6 pockets inside it. And then on the inside flap that I have to zip up to cover 1/2 of the suitcase size, that also has 2 pockets, which I really appreciate in the features of a carry-on suitcase. I know many of you are going to ask me in future videos of which suitcase I prefer to travel with, and it really depends on my mood. It depends on how long of my trip is going to be. I also have all different moods when I'm choosing my personal item bag. Sometimes I'm going to pack in a backpack, and sometimes I'm going to pack in the gorgeous tote bag. So you just think about your activities throughout the week of what you're going to be doing and how many things you need to be able to get to. I'm getting wordy, I know, but that's going to help you, your train of thought while you're on vacation is what you can think of to help you decide which type suitcase is better for you. Now, the most important tip that I love about a spinner hardshell carry-on suitcase is walking down the aisle of the airplane with a hardshell carry-on suitcase that spins, that can roll in front of you, is 10 times easier than pulling the rollerboard behind you or having to carry it down the aisle of the airplane. So that is why I will most likely travel more with my carry-on suitcase that is hard-sided. Let me know what features you think of between a hardshell suitcase and a soft-sided one, and which one you actually do travel with. I hope you have a great rest of the summer with all of your travels, and no matter which suitcase you pack in. If you need packing tips, I have some videos below for you. If you're traveling internationally, I have an updated video for you in the description box below. Remember, you get to the description box to see all of my links and my videos by clicking show more or the little upside down caret, and say hello if you have not met us yet and introduce yourself. Thanks for your time.